Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we will be, of course, reading out of the Old King James Bible, and we'll be reading from the Old Testament and from the New Testament to the law and to the testimony, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little, just like the Lord had written in the 28th chapter of Isaiah. Okay. We also will be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title, Fear God and Keep His Commandments. Fear God and Keep His Commandments. Okay. I'm going to share these with you right quick here. You can jot them down if you like. But yeah, people, I'm going to tell you, there is no more fear of the Lord. I mean, just look around you. People don't, if you feel somebody, you're going to do what they say, right? Okay, because you don't want them to bang you upside your head. But I'm gonna tell you something. People just don't realize the very one that made us from the dust of the ground told us he had everything written in this book. This book is our roadmap to salvation. He had it written for us to do these things. He had it in there where what we should do and what we shouldn't do. But people don't fear God. Because if you feared him, you would do what he say. He told you, he said, don't deal with that Christmas thing. People still running with it. He told you don't deal with that Easter thing, that Easter pagan, all those pagan holidays. Okay. Said don't deal with that. He told you to keep his holy feast days. He got 7 annual feast days throughout the year. People don't do that. Okay. But they don't fear God. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna come a day you're gonna wish you had. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing these right quick. We're gonna go ahead and go over these scriptures, see if we can get just a tad bit of understanding about this fear. Okay. Cause this God here, boy, I'm gonna tell you something. He ain't nobody you want to be playing around with. Okay. People don't know this God. Okay. But anyway, We're gonna start this in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. And I'm going to start reading at verse 13. And it reads, Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, fear God, and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Okay, it is our whole duty. Verse 14, For God shall bring every work into judgment. What was that? Every work? People say they ain't got to do no works. You better have some works and better have some good works. Okay, because Lord gonna judge them all. All right. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret things. Those things you think you doing behind that tree in the garden in the midst. Mm-hmm. Every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Okay. So you want to have some good works and not no evil works. All right. But better fear this God. Let's move on. Let's go over to Psalms right quick. Go to Psalms, say Psalms 96. Show you this here. Show you this here right quick here. Let's see. Psalms 96, 4. Psalms 96. And we're going to start reading at verse 4. And it reads, For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. Okay. Above all gods. Right? For all the gods of the nations are idols. They are nothing but idols. But the Lord made the heavens. Okay. So it's a whole lot of gods out there. Like I said before, you got that God of Christmas, Easter, God of Sunday, all that, those idols. Okay. But verse 9, O worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. He telling everybody this. You better fear him. Okay. But let's move on. Because you don't fear him, man. You don't see fear anymore. People doing everything under the sun, everything they want to do. But what the Lord say, they just don't want to do it. They want to go about their own righteousness rather than submitting themselves to the righteousness of God. Okay? But we're going over here to Jeremiah. Going to Jeremiah, the 25th chapter. And let me tell you what, are you not fearing him and doing all them things under the sun that the Lord don't like? Let me show you what you're doing here. All right. We're gonna start this at let's see, Jeremiah 25. I'm gonna start reading at verse 4. And it reads, and the Lord has sent unto you all his servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened, nor incline your ear to hear. Don't want to hear nothing Lord gotta say. Okay, some people, it's not a good thing. It is not a good thing. Verse 6, and go not after, and he's telling you this, and go not after other gods to serve them, because he had it written over in the commandments about serving other gods. He said, don't do it. All right. And to worship them, don't worship them, nor bow yourself down to them. Okay. Even those idols. And provoke me not to anger. Don't provoke the Lord to anger with the works of your hand, and I will do you no hurt. You see that? Tell you something. Keep serving them other gods. Don't fear the true and living God. I'm going to do you some hurt, people. I'm telling you. Verse 7. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord. You won't listen, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt. You are hurting yourself. You say, hey, well, I'm doing this. Ain't nothing happening to me. Okay. Tell you something. What did the Lord say? He said he's going to let the wheat grow with the tares. He will separate at the harvest. You got something waiting on you at the end of the line, people. Tell you something. You got to fear this God. Let's move on. Let's go right over here to Daniel right quick. We're going to Daniel, the 9th chapter. I'll show you this. Tell you something, people, man. It is important. I'm going to tell you, I'm scared. To be honest with you, I'm scared because, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. When the Lord come back, those ain't doing what he say. My goodness, he said they should all be consumed together. Mm. So he gonna be doing some serious killing. Lord gonna come back with fire. Okay, and he is not playing. All right. But we're going to Daniel here. We're going to Daniel the 9th chapter and start reading at verse 5. And it reads, we have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly and have rebelled even by departing from the precepts and from thy judgment. People have rebellious people. Say this is a rebellious people, man. They won't hear the law of the Lord. Okay, everybody say, oh, we not under the law. We under grace. Don't realize you're not under the animal sacrificial law. Not the raw law. We are under the raw law. We got to keep that. Okay? Verse 6. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophet. Ain't nobody listen. Which spake in thy name to our king, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. Okay? Ain't nobody listening. Lord's telling you. It's like someone in the wilderness crying out, trying to tell the people, get to know this God. Learn to fear him. But nobody's taking it to heart. It's sad. Okay, but let's move on. Let's go over to Proverbs right quick. Go on to Proverbs, the 1st chapter. And let's see. On to Proverbs 1. And we'll start reading here at let's see. Proverbs 1. I'll start reading at verse 7. And it reads, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Ain't that something? Can get some knowledge when you start fearing, when you learn to fear this God. But fools despise wisdom and instructions. Fool, I tell you. Let's see. Verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Told you. Yeah. Fools hate knowledge. Verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. right? Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Ain't that something? Hmm. Verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel. You have set at nothing all my counsels and would none of my reproofs. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. The Lord gonna kick back and he gonna laugh at you when your fear come. Okay. Verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, Lord gonna laugh at you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. Okay, you gonna start calling upon the Lord then, but he ain't gonna answer you. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You see that? That's why the Lord say, seek him now where he might be found. Okay? For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Okay? Oh, you better choose the fear of this God. All right? They would none of my counsel, they despise all my repute, my reproofs. Ain't that something? Verse 33. But whosoever hearken unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Okay? That's what the thing we better do. Better hearken unto this God. There you go. All right, but let's move on. Let's go over here to Matthew's right quick. Let me show you this here. Let me tell you, man, call yourself serving God, man. And that God, that Son God, on Sunday. Let me show you this here. See what the Lord said. And this is written in red here. This is Lord Himself saying this right here about you. Okay. Now, Matthew, the 15th chapter, we start reading at verse 7, and it reads, Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with thy mouth, and honoreth me with thy lips, but their hearts are far from me. Your mind is far from the Lord. You're in those churches running up and down through the pews, man. It's hollering, hallelujah this, hallelujah that, and all that. Oh, praise the Lord. The Lord said, You honoring me with your lips, but in your mouth. But hey, your mind is far from him. You leave out of the church, you go, man, the next day, and you want to slap your brother in the face or your sister in the face or talk about them. Bear false witness against them. Wait a minute. Come on now. Verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men. So you are worshiping him in vain for nothing. Okay? Because your heart is far from him. You need to learn to fear this God. Do what he say. All right? Going to Matthew 7. Matthew 7th chapter. And let's say Matthew 7, and we're going to start reading at verse 21. Pay close attention to this. Verse 21, and it reads, Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay, and he come out the kingdom of heaven. We already know that the Lord's kingdom gonna be on this earth in Jerusalem. Okay, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Okay, verse 22, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? Yeah, you gonna say all that, but who would say that? That be church people, won't it? He ain't talking about the dope dealer or the auditor or the murderer. These are church people saying this stuff. And you see what he said? Verse 23, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Okay. Going about doing what you want to do rather than sitting down reading this book, getting some knowledge, learning about this God, learning how to fear him. If you stay down that what you're doing, you don't hear those words and you don't want to hear that. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. I never knew you. You don't want to hear the Lord say that. Okay. So Let's go to one more place here. Let's go to Revelation, going to the last book in the Bible, going to Revelations 14, and start reading at verse 6. Now, this is the last book in the Bible. Let's see what the Lord's saying here. Verse 6, and it reads, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, to everybody. Verse 7, saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. He said, come and worship him, the true and living God. Fear him. Okay? Learn to fear this God. All right? Because I'm tell you, the whole duty of man, we say, fear God and keep his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man, people. Okay? So, with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.